May profits be upon you. I hope your weekend was outstanding. I hope you got plenty of rest and you enjoyed your time away from the markets and charts and whatnot. All right, let's get back to work. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. And what are we looking at? Of course, we're looking at Wednesday, man. Wednesday. Why? FOMC. All right, the Fed rate decision. Listen, interest rates move markets. Interest rates move markets. Okay. Do you see anybody else that we have to worry about come Wednesday? Yeah, we got consumer price index. Yeah, that's gonna that consumer price index moves markets too. Okay. All right, we got pound. We got the Canadian dollar. Consumer price index. All right. We got what else? Who else? Thursday. That's right. Swiss interest rate. Oh my gosh. The Swiss interest rates too. Yeah, it gets rough, man. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Interest rate decision. Euro. Listen, be careful with these markets. The days leading up to these markets, because it's at the end of the week, you still trade these markets, but understand that there's going to be some misdirection going on. Okay, they're going to probably the market makers are going to want to draw you into the opposite direction that it will end up going in once the decision goes down. What do we expect? Let's think about the USD and its interest rates. All right, if they start talking hawkishly, you can expect the dollar to go higher. All right, to gain strength. All right, and will they be talking hawkish with the talk of inflation and the concerns of inflation and the numbers that popped our eyes open last week? All right, what should we be expecting? Yes, I'm expecting the dollar to see some momentum moving up. All right. I'm looking, to be honest with you, I'm looking at strength in the Swiss. I'm looking at strength maybe coming in the yen. All right. These are safe havens. All right. CAD is coming up. Why? I don't, we'll talk about it with oil, because oil was dragging the Canadian dollar down. And then all of a sudden, things started popping up. Do I see price gonna continue higher? No, I don't. We'll talk about it. All right. And what else? USD, kind of in the middle, neutral, of course, but strengthening, because it was bullish last week and then it started running sideways. Okay. Let's take a look at those things. Just understand euro, pound, NZD, AUD. These are on the weak side, and these are I want to play against that weakness. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the Dixie first. We like to do a top-down analysis here on the monthly. What do we see? All right, we can see that price has it moving for the last few months bullishly, right? I mean, that's pretty easy to see. Breaking structure on the way up, showing strength. Okay, and we're running into supply right now. Let's take a look on the weekly. On the weekly, we can see that supply. We can see how price had relatively small pullbacks, and here we are at the weekly supply here. Okay, and we have a bullish reaction. Now you can see the bodies on here that looking very doji-ish, and we're moving sideways. So, can we expect a December burst to the upside? I don't know about a burst, but maybe some more bullishness to come back to this market. Let's see. On the daily, we can see this price action a little better. We have a 2-candle pullback, good, and then we have a nice rally up to the weekly supply. We reacted bearishly. The demand has held here at this daily demand zone. All right, and even though we formed a bearish, bullish, bearish. Price came back up into, way into the, almost hitting the top of this bearish supply zone it's trying to form here, okay? But price is moving sideways, so you have to be really careful to jump in the middle of this, all right, between this train stop and this train stop, you know what I mean? All right, if you go to the 4-hour, you can see that price action very clearly. Price came down, almost violated this this order block here, this daily demand, and created these equal lows, which is a magnet for price, okay? Then shoots up, chops its way up, coming close to violating the supply that it just formed here, all right? And then came down, broke these short-term lows to the downside, but demand has held here, this daily demand, no, this 4-hour demand here. Let me make sure I tag that right. Okay, so with demand holding and supply holding, we're going to see what's happening. We're getting ready to go test this supply, this newly formed supply here, and we're going to see if it holds and if price will come down or continue higher. This is a very interesting place for price to be, right smack dab in the middle of this trading range. So I'm going to lay on my hands, sit on my hands and lay on the side and wait to see what direction price picks, okay? And that's what I would advise. That's what I would advise for people taking the majors. All right, let's go to the next pair. All right, what do we have with pound USD? Let's go to the daily just for a peek. All right, we can see on the daily price has been charging down, right? We can see it's turned really bearish, chopping its way down into this daily demand zone. All right, this demand zone, the last time price was here, it sprung all the way up here. All right, we've hit that, and now we're diving into it. We haven't gone lower than this low. All right, but can we expect further declines in this area? I would think because price penetrated this low before, that this low probably won't be the lowest that goes inside of this daily. That's just a feeling. All right, and let's take a look on the week. No, I mean, excuse me, on the 4-hour, and we can see that price is actually having a bullish reaction here. All right, it's formed a, let's get this blown up a little bit. It's formed a bearish, bullish, bearish after forming a bearish engulfer. Look, we have a bearish engulfer. That is supply. Okay, that is supply. We come up and we test that supply, forming another bearish engulfer. Okay, and representing supply, and then we form this bearish, bullish, bearish formation that is representing supply. And what does price do? Takes out these highs, takes out these highs, raids these highs, takes these young looking baby supply zones and testing this one. All right, this was a break of structure here. Okay, that's what's important. Now, if price is not going to continue to maintain the supply, the bearish and bearish order blocks, then it may start respecting and maintaining the bullish ones. So what am I going to watch? I'm going to watch this one right here. All right, because this is a 4-hour bullish order block. Right, let's make sure we tag it. Okay, and I want to see if what price does when it comes back down here. All right, I'm going to keep this one here in mind, because that's where price is at right now. Okay, and it has already tested, this is a mitigated order block. And I want to see if price will violate it like it violated these. Okay. Are we maintaining bullish order blocks or bearish order blocks? I need to know if we are in, or we're going to continue the bearish momentum, the bearish price flow. All right, order flow, excuse me, the bearish order flow, as opposed to starting to respect the bullish order flow. That's what I need to know. This is not supply yet until I make it the proper color. Okay, now I can think. All right, let me tag this properly. Okay, and we're going to move on to the next pair. So I am looking to see what happens here. Is price going to continue up higher, or is it going to respect this one? This is kind of in the middle, so I'm going to watch this one. I'm not going to jump right in for anything. Just know that there's a lot of buy side liquidity up here, and we have these relative equal lows. There's liquidity to get here, and we're going to see if this order block, this daily order block will hold. And this is going to be very key. Next, pound yen. Pound yen, same kind of deal, except I think the price action is a little clearer here. Let's take a look on the daily. We can see price became very heavy after breaking all of the structure here. We come back down, and this is the higher low that made that higher high up here. All right, and price beat that price point. All right, rated that price point here. So I'm going to make sure we remember this by putting a X there. All right, we rated that low, and here we are. Is price going to break this daily order block, this daily demand zone? I'm thinking, I'm leaning towards yes. All right. Could price be forming a reversal here to come back up? That would mean that the yen would have to get really weak, and the pound would have to get really strong. Now we got interest rates coming on Wednesday, so who knows what might happen. All right, but let's look on the 4-hour. And what can we see? We see that price fell, formed this supply here, fell further, comes back for the retest, breaking these lows, and a return to impulse. Price then falls again, breaking that low, another return to impulse. We form supply here, boom, we come back down, we break this structure here to the upside. Now that's interesting, but what did we do? We return to impulse. The impulsing order block that was responsible for breaking this low, and then forming this supply, and then breaking that low. All right, so all it did was return to impulse. All right, this was a return to the decisional order block. This is the return to impulse, and price continued down lower. Funny thing is, we didn't beat that low. What does that usually mean? For me, what my back testing and my observation is when price returns to impulse and then doesn't make a new low, it usually means it's about to make a new high. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying I'm going to keep an eye out for it because I've seen it happen. All right, we come back into contact with this strong demand here, so it bears watching. It bears watching. We are in the middle. We've run back into an hourly supply. All right, this would be the 4-hour or the 4-hour order block. All right, or 4-hour supply, and I want to see if price beats this point. All right, it could, because this is the originating order block. But is it a weak high? Because it didn't make a new low, so that makes it a weak high. That means that this is a rateable high for liquidity. So I'm watching to see if we got a reversal going on here. Normally, I'd be looking at these things. Oh, it broke structure here. Boom, returns the impulse. I would be looking for a price to break this high. I'm hesitant to think that because you saw the currency meter, and yen is stronger than the pound. So, you know, it bears watching. It bears watching. I'm looking for more for the continuation of this this bearish momentum, but price may be misdirecting here. So I'm going to definitely urge people to be very careful. Here's the big one. This is one of the ones I'm looking to trade this week, and that would be pound Swiss. Pound Swiss. Let's take a look at the daily. All right. I wasn't supposed to leave that arrow on there. You can see we have a very, very, very bullish push. We moved sideways, and then price started making dips to the downside, lower and lower. We rounded over, right, into a daily demand zone here. Okay, let's look on the 4-hour. See this price action up close and personal. Okay, we can see how price formed this morning star pattern, and price, it's a reversal pattern. Price took off, taking out the highs here for liquidity, which was pretty awesome. I'm not going to draw it. All right, and price returned to impulse. We did not break that high. We returned to the impulsing order block that broke that structure, and we're looking to see if price will continue higher. Now it's moving sideways right now, so that there is cause for concern, cause for pause. All right, we have two 4-hour order blocks here. If we return to an impulse trade, that'd be very interesting because we broke a short-term low here, short-term lows here. On the way down, I would think a return to impulse would be and you know, it just kind of expected, but this is the decisional order block. This is the originating order block. All right, so price is pausing. It hasn't even touched the decisional yet. Not really. We came close. And where is there an unmitigated order block here? Not there. It doesn't. It's not there. All right. So I'm just going to watch this. I'm going to watch this real close. If it comes up here, I'm going to be looking for this. All right. If it goes higher, it goes higher. But I needed to beat this high before I start saying that pound Swiss has turned bullish. I needed to beat that high for me. All right. If this supply holds, I want to get involved after it beats these lows. It raids these lows with a close below this order block here. All right, there you go. Let's go to Aussie yen. Aussie yen. Let's take a look at the daily. What am I expecting with Aussie yen? And all the Aussie pairs, again, it's strong. You know, let me slow down. It's the yen is strong against the Aussie. All right, and so I'm looking for yen to pull this price down. Again, you know, there's some decision making going on this week. All right, and matter of fact, what day is it that I said that I thought that the yen? Yeah, the yen has something on Sunday. I'm looking at the calendar real quick. All right, we got the interest rate decision on the yen on Thursday, so we can trade it up until Thursday, I believe, but you better trade it real careful, man. All right, so this is the daily. See how it's going bearish, right? It's come down into this this demand zone, all right? Made a higher low here, which made that higher high, all right? And then we started making lower low, lower lows, lower high, lower high, and then all the way down here, right? I need this violated. I need this violated for me to start thinking bearishly on this pair. All right. You see how price is moving here. It was bullish, bullish, bullish for a couple of days in a row. And we found this supply here. Okay. If we go to the 4-hour, we can see this price action up close. All right. I'm keeping an eye on this because price went through here pretty aggressively. All right. And these are the points that price likes to reverse from. All right. Some people might call it a breaker block. All right. But I'm looking at how price made this V recovery here. All right. Aggressively switched to bearish momentum, breaking these highs, taking the liquidity from over here. All right. And now we're pulling back. Now, what do I expect? I expect after a break and a close above these highs, a return to impulse. All right. There are decisionals. There's a decisional here, but the impulsing order block is down here. So is this supply going to hold? You see how we wicked above this this order block's high? All right. Does that mean that this order block is violated? Not to me. A wick above usually just means a liquidity grab, and that the price could very well reverse from here. I'm looking very hard at that. So I want to see price whether it violates the supply and goes higher. All right, and that's going to happen soon. So I won't have long to wait. All right, if it does go higher, that means the Aussie has gained strength over the yen, and I'm just, it's hard. I'm hard pressed to believe that right now. That's a very nice recovery here, but I'm looking for any bullish pullback to really be an opportunity to sell at a better price. All right, let's go to Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss, same thing. If you come down to the 4-hour Aussie Swiss, you'll see we've got a V recovery, profound supply, 4-hour supply here at right around the same point. All right, price did not violate the high with a grab, a liquidity grab, but what are we forming here? This is technically broke the low. The close broke the low of the close below the open of the bullish candle. All right, engulfing it. And I'm looking for price to test that, test the middle part of this bearish engulfing, this engulfment, and form supply and continue down. That's what I'm looking for here on the Aussie Swiss. I'm looking for price to continue to the downside. And I'm going to put a little arrow on this just to remind me the next time I look at this, because this is one of the ones I definitely would like to see traded this week. And I did Aussie, I did Aussie yen, I did Aussie Swiss. All right, let's do NZD, the New Zealand dollar against the yen. All right, if we go to the daily, very similar to the Aussie, big pop up, breaking structure to the upside, everything's looking bullish, and then we started chopping our way down. All right, and as an added bonus, we chopped our way down, breaking the higher low that caused that higher high up here. All right, that is a break of structure with a close. So what am I looking for? A return to impulse to some degree, a retracement. And I'm looking for that to be like a bull flag, and then down. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Any pullback is going to give me a greater price to take a short. All right. And that I'm going to be looking at this price action up close on the 4-hour. Let's take a look at the 4-hour, right? We formed this supply here. All right, this is 8-hour supply here. 8-hour, okay? Price broke down, broke these lows, and what are you expecting? A return to impulse, right? And that's exactly what it did. Comes back up here, tests this unmitigated order block, all right, and we reject, okay, forming another bearish engulfer, which is forming supply here. And this is an unmitigated order block. Why do that's why I have it darker than the other bearish order block, because price usually just drops really nicely from these points. It fills this fair value gap up. It fills that gap up, which it almost did here, but there's a gap here that's usually a magnet for price, and I'm looking for price to come up, come back up, and then come on down, okay? What are you doing there? Why do I gotta talk to these things? All right, so this is what I'm looking for on the NZDJPY. Let's check the NZD Swiss. NZD Swiss, same deal, man, same deal. Let's look at quickly at the daily. You can see price broke structure to the downside very aggressively and then broke that low. Look at this. Look at that. That's very aggressive to the downside. All right. And I'm looking for a return to impulse of some kind, at least a retracement. And again, I'm looking for price just to give us a bear flag and then come on down. All right. I don't know how far it's going to go up, but something tells me we might see that climb up until the rate decision. And NZD has a let me see, I'm looking at the what do you call it, the economic calendar right now, and I'm looking at NZD has gross domestic product. And yeah, matter of fact, didn't they just have their interest rate decision the other day? I mean, last week, if I'm not mistaken. I can't look now. NZD. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I thought they had something going on this week. That was Aussie. Aussie's gonna have they're gonna have their talking too. All right, because Aussie is gonna have the RBA, and yeah, NZD. They're gonna have gross domestic product on Wednesday, like with the other announcements. All right. If we look at the 4-hour, we can see this price action. You see that it took out these highs. All right, took out those highs, chopping it up, going sideways. And this is the kind of price action you can expect before a big announcement, a big news item. All right. Then afterwards, look at this. Look, that's a bearish engulfer. And this is forming supply. And that's a 4-hour supply. I'm going to make sure I mark that. All right. And what do I like to see when a bearish engulfer is formed? I like to see price come back and test it. I like to see price come back and test that order block, that newly formed order block, and fall. So that's what I'm looking for now. We're getting hints of it that's the direction it may go. There's a lot of sell side liquidity on these points, these wick lows. All right, so that's what I'm looking at that. All right, so I'm hoping that we get some clarity and our price does what it's supposed to do. Well, what I want it to do. Now, what are we going to check now? We're going up top. Let's check gold. All right, what do I see in gold? Let's look at the daily. All right, what we can see: high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high. Great, breaking all these structures and stuff. It's looking strong, and then price comes crashing down. Right? It becomes heavy and then choppy. So, what am I looking for? The higher low that made this higher high, I'm looking to see if it's going to be violated or not. It hasn't. All right. The supply here is holding. I mean, the demand, excuse me, the demand is holding. Okay. All right. Actually, the demand here, the most recently formed daily order block is here. And that is holding. Which one is it? Okay. Right. That is holding right now because the low of it has not been violated here. Okay. Good thing. That's a good thing. All right. We can see that here. All right. Let's go to the 4-hour so we can see the price action up a little close. All right. You see how aggressive this is. This is the inefficient move of price, and price is going to want to come back up into that inefficient move to remove, to balance what is imbalanced there. Okay. Okay. What are we doing here? All right. So I'm looking. That's something to keep in mind. We have these liquidity points. That's something to keep in mind as well. All right. Now, is price showing a reason to think that it may be reversing here with this lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then it makes a higher low here? You know, is that, and then we break that high, then come back, returning to impulse. Boom, right here. This is the impulsing order block. We got a decisional here, right? So, and that's holding. Am I supposed to think that price is going to go up? Well, I tell you what. What are we going to do? Ignore that? Are we going to ignore that price is being held? This doggone 4-hour order block is holding right now. All right. Do we need this daily here anymore? No, not really. We already know we're in daily. No problem. We can get rid of it. Okay. So, and we have this supply, which it hasn't contacted yet, but we have this supply zone here, a refined 4-hour supply zone. All right. Will this be violated? I would like to get involved with gold this week. All right. If do I suspect that it may get higher, that it may show strength? If I'm thinking that gold is going to, that the USD might gain strength, no. Right. If I think USD is going to gain strength, it's going to drag price down. All right. But I'm going to see how it reacts to supply. I'm going to see how it reacts once it comes back down to this demand zone, because this is a bullish engulfer, and it is also a highly prized unmitigated order block. Boom. All right. You see that there's missing price here. What I mean by that is a fair value gap. This is where the imbalance is. We have imbalance here. All right. And price has an incentive to want to come down and take care of business. I'm looking for price to do exactly that. All right. So, but that would make price turn bullish. So that would go opposite. That would go against my thoughts, my projections for USD. That's why I'm watching. I'm going to wait to let price make a decision, and I'm going to have to be patient with it. All right, let's go to US oil. All right, let's go to the daily. What can we see? We can see that price is very bullish, enjoying a lot of strength in this market. And then boom, 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 we broke structure. We formed a supply here. We formed this supply. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? We formed supply here. All right. Price broke the lows, returned to structure right there. Beautiful return. And then that's just picture perfect. Just picture perfect. If you shorted there, you were supposed to short there, and you did the right thing. All right. And we dropped. Boom. Right. I love this. I love it. So after this imbalance was made, prices trying to balance what has been imbalanced. All right, let's go to the weekly so we can see this price action a little clearer. Okay, here we find a 4-hour supply, right? And what did price do? Price went lower, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, gave us an inverted head and shoulders, right? And it did its thing. Came all the way back up, did its job, and now what do we have here? Higher break of structure, return to impulse. This is where you're supposed to be shorting. This is now, all right? If you're not in a short now, you should be in a short now, all right? This is a short, all right? And it's picture perfect. I wish I would have got you this information out sooner, or like Saturday, but it was impossible. It was simply impossible. And you know, I like to look out for my peeps, but I couldn't get it done yesterday. Just could not get it done, no matter how much I tried. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I did try several times, but circumstances beyond my control. Now, this was an unmitigated order block too. Oh man, this was perfect, just perfect stuff. This was good eatings, all right? And this is where you should be taking a short. If you go down to the short, lower time frames, I'm going to do this for you. If you go down to the lower time frames, you want to see price give you that short. And what do I want to see? Exactly what it's forming. I want to see a low, a high, higher low, higher high, a break of that low here. All right. And then back, a return to impulse here, and then continue now. That was a little retarded. Okay. So when I say return to impulse, I'm talking about to the order block here. All right. This might not be the top. This might not be the head, but this is looking like my left shoulder, my head. I'm looking for the right shoulder. All right. But I need a break of these lows. All right. You need to see a break of those lows because this represents the higher low that makes the higher high. Got it? Too easy. If it breaks these lows, even better. Then I want to see that return to impulse here. And then you take your short here. Got it? Just like it did. Just like we just saw on the higher time frames. All right. I hope that helped. And we're going to do one more. Bitcoin. Let's go to the higher time frame. Let's go to the daily. What do we see? Why do I got fibs up? All right. What do we got? All right. What we can see is this bullish run. We broke those old highs. Everybody was happy. We're starting the bull run. Yay. We even went higher. Breaking this high. All right. That indicates price is going to go higher, right? Well, hold on. Then we break the low. All right. We broke that low here. We broke that low here. This here, if this is the trading range from the low, from the higher high to this lower low, all right, if this is the trading range, once you see a break above and a break below, that is a change of character. That is just letting you know that price is about to change the trend. The momentum is shifting from bullish to bearish, all right? Price falls down, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And we run into this daily demand zone here. And you see how the rejection was. Very aggressive rejection. All right. Where's price going from here? Very good question. All right. This is Bitcoin. All right. What I do is I stretch you see this? From this point here, where we make a lower high, to a lower low, breaking structure to the downside. All right. This becomes our trading range. All right. And I want to see price come back up into this discount range versus the premium price. I don't want to pay premium price. I want to pay discount prices above the 50% line. You want to see price come back at least 61%, at least, to take a short. And this one went exactly to 61.8% on this pullback, exactly, forming a 4-hour zone of supply. Okay, and I'm looking at this price action, right? This is the pullback. Why doesn't it break this low? Why aren't we breaking lows on the way back? Are we finished pulling back? Is price trying to form a bull flag and then dropping? Or are we going to just turn around at this 4-hour supply and bust through this 4-hour demand and bust through this 4-hour supply? That's what we're expecting? Looking for price to turn around here and just continue up? Does that what sound logical and reasonable to you? Very interesting price action. I'm looking at this price action and I see price went up higher here, comes down, breaking that low, pulling back. Are we returning to impulse? Is that what we're doing? I'm looking at the way price is breaking down here. All right. We got a short-term low broken there, short-term low broken here. All right. And I'm looking over here. Did we break these lows yet? No, we didn't. We broke these two lows, short-term, which is a show of strength to buyers, right? To buyers, a show of weakness, a show of weakness to show of weakness to buyers, and of buyers. Price returns to the decisional order block here. All right, drops a little further, breaking this low, taking out these relative equal lows, and then returns to impulse. Are we finished? Well, I'm starting to think that maybe we are, and that I'm leaning towards more bearish movement because of the return to impulse here. Again, let's take a look at a slightly higher time frame. Maybe things might become a little clearer. We have a bearish, bullish, bearish formation of supply here. We have a bearish engulfer forming supply here. This is on the 8-hour. That's an 8-hour order block here. All right. And you see, if we stretch this zone of supply down to here, we've already tapped. All right. We've already tapped. This bearish, bullish, bearish formation is reacting off of this one. Do you understand that? That's something important to note. All right. And then forms an extension of this doggone supply. And we come back up into supply, forming a bearish engulfer. I'm looking for price right now to test this unmitigated order block. Unmitigated. This is not unmitigated. I don't know why I have it dark like that. I don't want to get mixed up. This is an unmitigated order block here. So I'm gonna definitely make a move on this. If price comes back up and touches off here, it shows me the sensitivity that I'm hoping is there. That's obvious in my view. Let me go to the 4-hour. Why is it extended all the way out there like that? All right. I'm gonna take something. I'm gonna take a short here. I'm gonna take a short here if price comes back up, because this looks like a return to impulse and more bearish price action should probably take place. We're going to see. We're going to see, because this looks heavy. This looks like a failure to make a new high. That's what this looks like. And this is an engulfer that indicates bearishness. So if I get that, that would be a lovely trade to take. All right, at least down to the 50% of this wick. Some people will look at it that way. I'm going to definitely look to take this down if I can to this order block here. That's where I like to stop off, just shy of it. We'll see. We'll see how it develops. This is turning bullish. It's heading up that way, and that's from me to you. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm sorry it's getting out later than it normally does, but it is getting out, and I think it's getting out in good time. I'm hoping that you haven't jumped into anything crazy. All right. I will see you in the next video. Check out the previous 2 videos that I just sent out on either side of your screen right now, and trade safely, and may profits be upon you.